how many of us are going to get in a relationship with someone like
some
Nick?
Singaporean like prince?
Like, let's be real. Let's be real. That ain't happening.
Not everyone's Meghan Markle. Love should be enough is kind of what I'm trying to say. Love should be enough, but I don't think it always will be. At the end of the movie, Nick's mom did end up accepting her, but sometimes it's not that way.
Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Asada Haman.
And my name's Yosa.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yeah, we're really excited to talk about this movie this week. It was a pretty big hit when it came out. Like, I think it was like for like cultural reasons, but also just like I think the storyline was just like really, really good, and it's based off a book, of course. So
it's been on my TV read for a very long time.
Oh, I'm just used to people referring to it as TBR.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it is TBR, but to be read is also how you say it. But yeah, it's like I've heard people call this movie like the airplane movie. Like every time you fly on a plane, like this is the movie you have to watch. And so like people they fly often, they're like, I've watched it so many times, but it's like you go on the airplane, this is the movie you're watching.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Well,
plane.
I guess I just said the movie, but
I mean they see the title, so they know.
Yeah, but we're talking about Crazy Rich Asians today. I think it came out in 2018.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So the movie is 7 years old. That's crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane to me. I didn't even watch when it came out, but I just remember like
I think I did.
I would have been 11 years old.
I was actually really excited. I remember I was trying to like find it, and I think I tried to rent it or something like that. It was like it was a big deal for me, so I really wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I know. It's a really good movie, but kind of just a quick summary. There's this girl named Rachel. They live it's California, right?
New York. Because they were in was it NYU? Yeah, she was an NYU professor.
Oh yeah, you're right. So they both live in New York. The girl's name is Rachel. The guy's name is Nick. Rachel's lives with like her single mom that basically like immigrated to the U.S. basically like with only the clothes on her back, like a $10 bill in her pocket. You know the like the story.
The typical stereotype.
Yeah. So she's grown up in New York and she's lived here. Like she said she's a professor at NYU and she's dating this guy named Nick. And so this is like one of the first scenes anyway. But like Nick is basically like, okay, like I want to take you home because my like cousin is getting married. Like I want to take you to my family. And she goes like, oh, okay. Like she's kind of excited to go. And he's kind of like, he's like basically trying to tell her, he's like, okay, so like, yeah, this is my family and this is who they are. And we're like, he says like the family name where they live. And she goes like, she's like, what? Like, she's like, and he basically like subtly hints that like he's very, very, very wealthy because it's Singapore, right? Mm-hmm. So like his grandma had also immigrated to, his grandma had come to the U.S.
No, his grandma had come from China to Singapore.
Yeah, and then she like basically built up the empire from like the ground up, and then like her daughter, and then now Nick, and so like Nick is basically telling her, he's like, okay, well my family's like kind of judgmental, but, like they're gonna love you, so like we're just gonna go, and like it's funny because like one of the scenes they're going to like fly like and they're in like first class and she's like I've never flown first class in my life, and they're like getting drinks. She's like,
and we food. Don't fly first class.
She's like, who are you? Like in like one of the scenes she's like, you're the guy that like steals my food and forgets his wallet and now you're telling me you're rich?
Uses my YMCA pass like or no, sorry, Netflix.
Yeah,
it was
Netflix something. And it was really funny, but like basically Nick is telling her like, okay, I'm like bringing you home to like culturally like meet like my Singaporean family, like we're all like it's gonna be a huge wedding, like everyone is gonna be there, so you're just gonna meet everyone. So the story kind of evolves and like basically someone takes a picture of like her and Nick in like the coffee shop or the restaurant that they're at.
In like one of the first scenes they take a picture of Nick,
and then like but it's only the back of her head, right? Mm-hmm. And so the photo gets sent out to Singapore because like they have some crazy like web connections there, and so everyone's like, oh, Nick has a girlfriend, Nick has this.
Well, I mean, it's like I feel like it would be the same here. It's kind of like he's a celebrity, like because I mean not a celebrity and like I'm an actor, but he's like super wealthy, and so his family's name kind of like it's almost like if Jeff Bezos had like an older child and like he went to some like different country and like someone sent a picture of him and Jeff Bezos' girlfriend.
I mean, not that.
Jeff Bezos' son's girlfriend. And like it went out, it would be everywhere in the US.
Yeah,
like that would be huge.
I could see it, but it was definitely like a little like dumb. Like, yeah. But like, so they go there and like she basically has to get the approval of like the grandma, because that's like she's the one that's like created this entire empire, all their money. And so we see kind of how she goes through the trials of fitting in with this family, understanding like their culture, but like still the trials that are tested with her and Nick's love. And so it's a really good movie, so we really want to talk about it. It has a lot of lessons, I think
it has. Yeah, it's like I said, one of my favorite movies. Sometimes I forget it's one of my favorite movies. Like, people ask me, oh, what is your favorite show? What's your favorite movie? And I'm like, I don't have a good answer. But then I'll talk about something. I'll be like, wait, this is, like, one of my favorite movies. Like, To All the Boys I Loved Before, one of my favorite movies. Crazy Rich Asians, one of my favorite movies. But if you ask me, like, out on the street, oh, what's your favorite movie? Those ones are not going to come to my mind.
Like, on the spot, I'm not going to, like, yeah, I don't have just movies in my head.
Which is crazy because I've watched them so many times that, like, they should be in, like, stuck in my head, but I don't know. But I think it was really interesting because Nick, like, I love Nick, such a sweet boy, but he lied. Let's all be honest. Like, omission of truth is still a lie. And he did not prepare Rachel enough for his family. No. And I think one of his friends or something like that had even said when they had come back to Singapore, he was like, has America changed you? Have you forgotten the country you're from? Like the family you're from? Have you forgotten
your family? What they're like?
It's not just like, it's not going to be like sunshine and rainbows and roses and everything. Like this, like what the plan and everything he was trying to do with Rachel and introducing her to everyone and bringing her into his family was not going to work. Like, I don't know. He just didn't think it through. But it was interesting because it's like, despite all of that, you know, you saw how much Rachel and Nick were pushing for this relationship, pushing to gain acceptance and to tell the truth. And, you know, Nick, you know, obviously was like I respect Nick so much because you saw one of the closer to the ending scene, he was like, he was ready to give it up. He was ready to give up his family, his name. He was like, Rachel, I love you and I only want to be with you. And to me, I respect that. Because I think in a few episodes before, we had talked about, or not a few, this is probably like a few months ago, we were talking about whether, like, you can marry someone with, like, different, like you guys just think super differently, like morals and everything. And like I think we were talking about like, oh, the political aspect too. But like this is not politics, but a lot of times in that conversation we were talking about like we wouldn't want to be in a relationship where like the family is separated because it's like what if the guy picks the family over you or vice versa. It's all messy and everything. And unfortunately that was one of those, you know, sad events where it's like Nick's family did not, or I guess Nick's mom specifically didn't accept Rachel. However, he accepted Rachel and he was willing to give up everything for her, and I respect that so much. And so despite him, I mean, like there were nuances, of course. Like he couldn't just like say, oh, I'm this wealthy person. He didn't want his relation. I guess in the back of his mind, he didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm like second guessing that she's with me or staying with me because of money.
I mean, like I get in the beginning of the relationship, but they'd been dating for like 2 years. Right?
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was like you should have told her. I feel like the 6 month, like it should have been known.
Even after I can say 6 months fine, but a year and a half.
Yeah, like a year, because then it's like you're locked in. I feel like I hope you're.
And he knew that they were locked in because he wanted to take her home. He wouldn't have brought anyone home that. And remember, he was always planning on getting married to her, like in proposing to her in Singapore. Yeah. So he was already locked in, but he didn't tell her. But I mean, I can understand from the perspective he was afraid to like lose that peace of mind that like, oh, she's with me for me and not because of my money or my family or my backing.
Exactly.
But I think the question is, do you think that love can survive these like two vast worlds where this like, you know, this Chinese runaway family, like the mom was from so Rachel's mom ran away from her husband that was abusive. um, in China, and like ran away to America. So like that's why she came to America so poor. That obviously doesn't have an education. Like really sad. Like, do you think a world like that where it's like poverty, or like maybe not poverty but poor, and like wealth, do you think that those two worlds can collide?
Realistically, no. And not like, I don't think, not that those two scenarios can't, but I think in Rachel and Nick's case, like, let's be honest with ourselves, most people wouldn't stay that long. I think the way the story played out, it's a romance story, so of course it's like happily ever after. But I think in real life, when certain events happen, and it's not like their love wasn't strong enough, but love isn't strong enough to keep a relationship together. And I think that's it at the end of the day. And we see at the end of the movie,
like, you mean like love is not enough to stop like abuse and like terrible
like outside like forces from causing the relationship. Because like we've seen all these like reality TV shows, whatever you want to call them, where it's like, oh, love is this, love is that, and it's like on the show, yeah, they love each other, everything's great, but it's when they come to the outside world and it's all the other influences. Because that's what sucks, because we don't have a barrier between your love and the outside world. There are going to be challenges no matter what. So I think in a situation like that, a relationship can work out from very different backgrounds. I don't see why it couldn't. And if it couldn't, it's the two people's fault. It's not anyone else's.
Yeah.
But I think in Rachel and Nick's case, realistically, I don't think their relationship would have worked out, just because if the grandma hadn't accepted her. Because at the end of the movie, she like kind of is like, okay.
No, the mom.
Or the mom. I thought it was the grandma.
No, so if you remember, what happened was the grandma like loved Rachel already, and like loved that she could speak
it's
to her, and it was the mom that was against it. And the only reason the grandma became against it is when the mom did a background check on Rachel, found out that the mom ran away, and like Rachel didn't know all this, and so she's like freaking out. And then the grandma is like, oh, like, Nick, don't go after her, like we can't bring this kind of family into our own. That's when the grandma was against it. So from the beginning, she was fine with the girl.
Yeah, I think also that's kind of like another reason. Like, I think their background, she's like saying, oh, this will taint the family image, but it's like love should be enough is kind of what I'm trying to say. Love should be enough, but I don't think it always will be. At the end of the movie, Nick's mom did end up accepting her, but sometimes it's not that way. There are some people who will literally marry into a family, and you still have an estranged relationship with the mother-in-law or the father-in-law or a brother-in-law or whatever it may be. So I think, yeah, like, you can marry into the family, but I just don't think that realistically, if you can't work through those issues, if you can't find compromises, then you shouldn't be fighting for a relationship that you always have to fight for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying don't fight for your relationships, but if all you have to do is fight for it, is prove to people that you should be together, then it's like, maybe take a step back and think about, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Is this the person for me?
I agree. And I think that for me personally, I believe that marriage is marrying into a family. And, you know, unless you are committed to completely like cutting off the family that you're marrying into, because it's a clashing relationship. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be experiencing this like hurt and this and like the grief and annoyance and everything that comes with a family that doesn't love or support you, that you're trying to marry into. And for me personally, I don't think I could handle that. I don't think I could go into a relationship with like that. And
we saw Rachel left.
She did. And I respect that. I respected Nick for, you know, trying his best and, you know, saying, I'm going to leave with you. But then I also respect Rachel for realizing that exactly kind of the thought process I'm thinking. She's like, I don't want to rip you apart from your family. I know you love your family. They're good to you. I don't want to do that to you. And like that, like the way Rachel thinks is literally how I would react to. Like, I mean, and you know, the only reason at the end that she agreed was because he had his mother's ring, because he finally got the approval he needed. And so I don't think that two worlds like that can collide. I truly do believe that you need to be at least in equal type of thinking. Like, if one of you does come from a poorer background and someone comes from a more wealthier background, like, it's that one from the poor background that has like these like kind of goals and aspirations, and they're making steps to become for themselves personally more wealthy. I feel like that in that case it can work. But again, like, how many of us are going to get in a relationship with someone like
some
Nick?
Singaporean like prince?
Like, let's be real. Let's be real. That ain't happening.
Not everyone's Meghan Markle.
But even Meghan Markle, this girl was a multi-million-dollar actress.
I mean, she was already an actor. So
like,
it's like
you do know why she like got like with
her friend set her up.
Yeah,
with him,
like
right?
she had the connection, so she's not a good example. See, that doesn't happen in real life.
That we know of. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Like there was even
I'll
this.
be the first.
There was even this like Asian country. I don't remember what it is. Starts with a B. Like I remember on TikTok, their royal family, one of their kids was getting married to their childhood best friend, and like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cute, childhood best friend." The childhood best friend's father is like is a millionaire from the country. Is owns like oil and all these things.
Wait, actually, that's not true. I don't remember what prince, like the prince of like Norwegian. Like there's some prince, like I saw a video on TikTok that like his wife was a commoner, or like his fiance was a commoner, and he basically told him like, I'm gonna give up the throne if I don't marry her, and like he marries her. Like
hey, in I think it's Japan, either Japan or South Korea, I can't remember which one. The princess had to give up her royal title as a princess to get married to a commoner.
Yeah, I'm like.
So it depends, I guess, on the country you are from.
I guess
royal rules.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how much you love them.
I don't know, but I think another thing is like I really thought it was interesting how Rachel like overcame her trials. Like you kind of saw like finding out about her mom was this absolutely devastating like situation, like something she didn't ever expect, and the way it was presented almost as like, you knew this, like why are you bringing this kind of family into our family, and then just having that all like having your whole world collapse into such a situation in a country that you have no friends besides like, you know, your boyfriend. Like
no, there's Peik Lin.
But besides Peik Lin, but like I mean, in that situation when she found out the information, like your closest, your family, your mom is not there. It's like your comfort. You can't even go to your favorite like restaurant like back in like she just didn't have that. And so you see she's just rotting in bed literally because she's just like so sad and depressed. And you saw how like the family, Peik Lin's family, like rallied around and was like, let's see what we can do. And like, you know, they realized that it wasn't talking that needed to be done. It was more like, oh, we're here for you. We'll give you food. We'll send in the 2 little cute children because we know you're not going to get mad at them. Like, so I think that who you surround yourself with. We've said this so many times on this podcast. I feel like we're a broken record. Yeah. But I truly, truly believe that the people you surround yourself with is so important, because at your lowest points, at your lowest times, like you need those kind of people that know exactly how to navigate such like difficult situations and trial and grief and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I just love kind of like her friendship with Peik Lin in the movie, because we see like, yes, there's also a character named Astrid, which is Nick's cousin, and so they're really close, and Astrid is having problems with like her family.
Is Astrid Nick's cousin?
Yeah,
I thought she was his sister.
No, they're cousins. But we see that like Astrid is kind of there. She's like really kind to Rachel and everyone, but she also has her own family drama with her husband, which was like stupid. This husband was terrible. Like,
I mean, how can
you're literally cheating on like a millionaire woman and then like blaming her for not being there when you like don't have a job? Like, what does he even do? He's like a military like something, like, and like
their relationship is the warning for some. It doesn't always work out with the
poor guy.
Yeah, because
notice how the poor one was the guy, the man. I saw him say, like, he became a little too comfortable in his spot that he was like, oh, well, I can
cheat.
He's like, I can cheat and I can still have her money. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
But Astrid is like she's a great person. Honestly, she probably is one of my favorite characters. You can see she really does accept Rachel. But even with that, it's like Rachel still doesn't really have anyone. Astrid still has her own world. Nick is like her boyfriend, but it's like, you don't want to tell him like, hey, I actually, like, I'm not getting along with your family. Like, things are really,
well,
like...
He
knew, but it's like, you know, sometimes you want to confide in, like,
a
friend. I feel like Peik Lin was that for her and her family, like you were saying. And I just... Also, Peik Lin is just so funny. Aquafina.
People hate on her. People actually hate Aquafina.
I think it's because of her voice.
Her voice definitely is unique, but I like it. I think that, like, it's like we have too much of the same kind of voice.
I think her Hollywood. I think she's funny.
I like Aquafina. I follow her. Like, if I follow you on Instagram, know that that's something, because
that means something.
It does. Like, I don't just be following randos anymore like I used to. Like, I remember after I watched Pretty Little Liars for the first time, I went through and I added all the cast. Like, come on. Like, Shay Mitchell, like Sasha, whatever. Like, why was I following these people? I didn't even care about them. It
doesn't sound like they're in anything new either. Yeah, but I just think her relationship with Peik Lin is... I love their friendship. I love who she is. And her friend is still, like, going on. She's like, okay, like, you've got it. Like, they're going to love you, like, once they really get to know you. And, like, she's just an awesome friend. I think we all just, like, all you need is one good friend. That's what people always say, but I think it's so true. You don't need, like... the entire family. Like, it's great if the family, if Nick's family would have, like, loved her, but she doesn't need them being her buddy best friend. She didn't need a whole rally cry arms of people. She needed that one friend to get her through it. And yes, she ended up leaving, but I think that's what made her time bearable. And I feel like she would have left even earlier if she didn't have just a friend. And also, I think Nick is I love him. I'm sorry.
Gold standard. Besides the beginning when he didn't tell her that he was rich, but besides that, gold standard.
Like, absolute king, absolute icon. Like, literally treats her like a queen. Like, defends her every single time. Makes sure she's, like, comfortable. Like, he always, like,
bro,
wants
I need
her
to
be
watch
happy.
this movie. I mean, we're flying tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm about to be on the airplane.
What is it on? Is it on Hulu?
I think it is.
Bro, we have the Hulu with ads.
Yeah, we have the broke Hulu.
We have the student plan Hulu.
No, yeah, real. And I just think I love Nick, love Peik Lin, but I think kind of like what you're saying, like the overcoming trials, just it wasn't just a trial, I think, of like just like the family necessarily. It was a trial of like not just trying to get them to love her, but also just trying to find acceptance in the family, because she's Chinese, right? Mm-hmm. And they're Singaporean, so that was already cultural differences that like she had.
But their roots are back in China.
Yeah, like like you said, the grandma would like speak to her, but it was like Nick's mom and like I guess some of his cousins, not like Astrid, but like some of the other ones that were kind of like, oh, well, we don't know about like whatever. But it's like, I think at the end of the day, like none of that matters. Mm. Like you were saying before, who cares if one person's from Australia and the other one's from Madagascar? Like, who cares? Like, it genuinely doesn't matter. Because like, I don't, this sounds really bad, but no, I don't think love is enough to save a relationship. But I think love as a foundation and everything else put on top of that, everything else put like worked out well, communicated, thought through. If your love is there and everything else makes sense, it's like, why shouldn't a relationship work out?
I agree. I think that with a relationship without love does not work. Mm-mm. But a relationship with just love also healthily does not work.
Yeah, because it's like I'm sure there's plenty of people that love each other, but they are not meant for each other, because it's just like a rule of not even thumb. It's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
The world we live in, you can't, financial differences. You can't be broke and expect to provide for a family and want, a spouse and a kid. There's just no way. Or you name it. Like, there's so many trials that you're going to overcome that, like, you have to be able to fight against the real world problems, the real world of family, in-laws, finances, health, whatever it may be. We were talking about my Oxford year. It's like, yeah, their love was great, but it wasn't going to save his life.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
not my Oxford year.
He still died. Like, it's terrible, but it's like, and it hurts, but I just think that that's the important thing to remember, that don't always just think that because you love someone, it's going to work out. I mean, obviously, again, it's a rom-com, it's a romance. So, of course, there's Nick and Rachel's story is going to work out.
Hey, if it's like my Oxford year, it wouldn't work out. One of them would die.
Technically, it did work out. He's just not here to, like, he's not alive to continue it. But, like, it's just, like, don't always, like, I don't want this to be, like, a scolding, but, like, don't always think that just because you love someone or you're in love with someone that's all you need to make the relationship work, that like, oh, nothing else matters because we have our love for each other. Because no, sometimes you need respect, and sometimes you need boundaries, and sometimes you need approval from family members and friends, and that if you don't get that, maybe that love isn't as strong as you think it is.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing that was coming to my mind, it is a bit different from, like, because in Crazy Rich Asians, they don't get married in it.
There's supposed to be a second movie that got, like, canceled or something.
I was so depressed. Like, that movie would make so much money. Like, why are we canceling that?
I think it's because, like, the producer didn't want to return for the second movie, or, like, the author someone didn't want to do something in the second movie, so they just
imagine saying no to money. Like, come on, like, please. Like,
makes me so mad. And that good of a movie too.
Like that.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I want to talk to whoever's the reason for the second movie not coming out.
Let's fight.
Let's say email them.
7 p.m. October 8th.
Why is that the date?
It's a random date that I made up in my head.
Someone's about to, like, hold you to that, bro.
No.
About to track you down. Be like,
I'm good. But something that came to my mind was that, like, there's this whole new message on, like, you know, very extreme conservative men on these podcasts. They love to say that, like, the modern woman is the problem, and back then women, like, didn't get divorced, and divorces weren't as much and everything. And I'm not disagreeing that, like, the divorcing culture in America and in the world, not even America, in the world, is extreme. Like, there's definitely some issues there. But, you know, the thing is that one aspect I think that I believe is amazing is that one of the reasons that women in America, I'm going to say America, I'm sure it's in the world too, but I can't speak for the rest of the world because I'm not up to date on their political knowledge and everything. But one thing in America is it wasn't until, I believe, the 80s that women could finally open their own credit card.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, the 80s.
That's insane. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm still just like...
So think about that. If you can't open your own line of credit, if you can't have your own line of credit, even if you have a job, you can't buy yourself a home. You're literally financially dependent on your spouse. And so even if your spouse is the most abusive man in the world and all of that, he has financial power and financial control over you. And so the reason I think that a lot of women now are like, I'm not going to stay in a crappy situation if you're abusing me and just leave, is because they have the financial power to leave.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is true. Like, love is a foundation, and it should be the foundation. Like, we're not in the process of, you know, like, loving arranged marriages. Like, we none of that. We like romance. We don't like. I mean,
see, it's fine in a book, not real life.
It's fine in a book when they fall in love.
Yeah, not in, like, no.
I mean, it works out for some people. I know there's some cultures that are really accepting of arranged marriages, and people do it, and, like, they say that. Like, I used to work for a chiropractor's office, and one of the patients, we were having a conversation, and they were like, I was like, oh, how did you and your wife meet? And he was like, oh, all right, I think I asked, oh, did you and your wife meet in India? He was like, yes. And I was like, oh, how do you guys meet? he's like, well, we were arranged marriage and everything. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, it seems to have worked out well. And he's like, yeah, it's great for us. And I mean, maybe he's just accepted it because it's been years and years and years.
You can always look at it as you don't have to look for people. There's always going to be someone there for you. I mean, like, all the hard work's out of the way. You don't have to go on dating sites or look for people. There's always just going to be one person.
Hey, isn't there, like, in some, like I think Muslim cultures, like, there's a dating app, is it Musma or something like that?
I have no idea.
There's, like, a dating app for Muslim people, and I guess, like, that's, like, their alternative to, like, arranged marriage.
Their parents are like, yeah, this
no,
this
like,
it's
like, I mean, at least in America, in modern people, they agree that they use it. That's good.
I mean, that's good. I mean, find people of your culture and religion. Why not? Right?
Exactly. But I mean, so that was kind of a long tangent, but like, it's so true. Like, modern women have the financial ability to leave relationships, and I love that we don't have to, as women, you don't have to be stuck in a cycle of abuse or stay for your children because you're afraid, are you going to be able to take care of your children?
Yeah.
And so you saw with Rachel that she had enough respect for herself, and I love that. She saw that this mom of his was not someone that she wanted to have as a mother-in-law, was not someone that she knew would elevate her, like, came to her, and it's just always trying to find the fault in her. And that's not good. That's not something you want to marry into. I mean, like, what if you get married? What about your kids? Like, what is the treatment going to be like? Like, it was not it. And she knew that. And the last straw for her was when the mom had gone behind her back and done that background check on her and her family. And you saw it. She was like, no.
Also, that's just crazy. I mean,
I understand.
It makes sense.
Like, I understand from the mother's perspective of, like, okay, you should do a background check because we just have so much money that you have to protect.
Yeah.
But if she had done the background check and kind of, instead of, like, accusing her, been like, hey, like,
yeah, asking about it,
like, hey, like, you know, for our family's protection, you know, we decided to do a background check on you, and we see that this information, like, can you tell us a bit more about that? And Rachel would have been like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. Like, it would have been a totally different situation. She would have called her mom. It would have been so different. But instead, she saw that this mom had nothing, had no remorse, had no like empathy, and she didn't have the kind of attitude to, like, care and reach out for Rachel. And she was like, I'm not gonna say any of that. And she's like, Nick, I love you, but this is not enough.
Yeah.
And she pulled herself out of the situation. I think that in all our lives, it's not only in romance, but in, like, everything. Like, if you realize that you're putting all this effort and this love, and it's not producing fruit, or you're still in a situation that is not good for you, remove yourself from it immediately, and you'll realize later on in life that you made the right decision for yourself.
100%. Love the lesson from this movie about just respecting yourself, respecting women, respecting family traditions, but also learning to accept others, even if they are different from you. I think that's an important lesson. But I really love this movie. Probably going to rewatch it tomorrow on our flight. So.
Yeah, I didn't think I was, but as I kept talking, I was like, wait, I love this movie so much.
I have to search up, like, what streaming service it's on.
I think it is Hulu, which is unfortunate for us.
Yeah, but I'll find it.
We'll find it. We'll figure it out.
But thanks so much for watching. We love talking about these movies so much. Crazy Rich Asians, I think I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. So, like,
maybe like 5 for me.
Yeah, this is a solid movie for me. But if you made it all this way, make sure to give this video a like, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Make sure you check out our social medias, our Instagram and our TikTok. We post twice a day, every single day except Sunday. And leave a comment about any of the movies, any clips, anything you see. I love talking with all of you guys about your different experiences with movies and shows.
She's the one that replies to all our comments. So
like, if you see like a weird comment or weird response, that's probably me. So, but
I thought you were gonna say me. I was like, what is this girl saying?
Yeah, it's her. We lie, it's actually. But no, but yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Okay. Bye.